So, there's a bunch of stuff going around last 2, 3, 4 days, drama about the People's Convoy, people that were involved with it, accusations of money being taken and not given, and just a bunch of another round of drama with people. Here's the bottom line: I don't have the facts. I don't know if there was fraudulent activity that happened. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I wasn't involved with any major planning or any of the financing. After a certain point, the financing I've never been involved with at all. As a matter of fact, from the very beginning, I've been pretty adamant that I didn't want to be my name anywhere near because I know what happens when money gets involved. I said everybody starts making accusations, and that's exactly what happened. But unfortunately, now my name is being brought in to these accusations that are flying around. So I'm going to get on here and set the record straight. First of all, these accusations are coming from Brian Hinson, aka Brian Von D. Now, I've had conversations with Brian Von D, and the last one I had with him, I asked him kindly to keep my name out of his mouth, and I would do the same for him. But now that he is once again up to his antics, throwing my name out there like I had anything to do with it, now I get sucked in and involved when I don't want to be. I don't want any part of anything anymore. I don't. And it's because of people like Brian Henson, Brian Von D. He's a dirtbag. And I don't care. If he sees this, good. You're a dirtbag, Brian. I could get into the monkey throwing, shit at each other, but I'm not going to do that. I just don't want to be involved. So here's the truth from me, straight from me. Have I ever taken any money for anything that I've done? Now, mind you, I've been to 3 state capitals. I've been to Joplin, Missouri for a slow roll. I've been to Washington, D.C. on Constitution Avenue. I went down with the People's Convoy for Hagerstown, Maryland, in Hagerstown, Maryland. I did a slow roll up in Pembina, North Dakota, from Fargo to Pembina, and 99.9% of the stuff that I've done has been out of my own pocket. Hagerstown was the first time that I took any money, but it wasn't from the People's Convoy. I took $250 from an anonymous donor that wanted to help me out with a hotel room for a couple nights. And I think one person sent me 20, another person sent me 20, and another person sent me like 100. And I have all this documented. So that's all the money I've ever taken. And since I left the People's Convoy back, I don't know, probably 10 days after they got into Hagerstown, I have given $300 back to numerous people that were involved with the People's Convoy. So when you hear my name being brought out, number one, I've never had any association with any of the financing aspect of it. Never. My name has not been on anything, any document, nor have I had any access to any kind of funds. And I wanted to keep it that way. Again, because when you add money, people get screwy. And I don't want to be accused of wrongdoing. And now I'm being accused of wrongdoing, even though I had no involvement. Secondly, any of the planning that was done, I was involved in the beginning. And I don't know, probably roughly 10, 11, 12 days into it, I backed out because there were some things that I was uncomfortable with. Not that I think there was any wrongdoing. I just didn't like the direction it was going. And Brian kind of emerged as the spokesperson, so to speak. Brian Brazzi and Mike Landis and all the people that you've seen. Those were the ones making the moves. And I went down to Hagerstown and I talked to all of them. And I'm going to tell you something. Brian Hinson, Brian Von D, he couldn't organize a walk into McDonald's, let alone what these guys did. This whole group that organized that People's Convoy and went through with it and did what they did. I watched what they were going through, man, and it was I don't think a lot of people could have dealt with it the way they did. Secondly, I've seen them pay for fuel, a fuel bill that was 60 some $1,000. They paid for that. I seen that. I know that they paid for people's fuel. Friends of mine, Lisa and Lee Schmidt, their fuel was paid for all the time. I never asked for any money from them when I was down there. I never asked for gas money to get down there. That was out of my own pocket. I paid for my own hotel room on the up and up all the time, and I've got all the receipts to prove it. And so Brian can run off, at the mouth, and you're going to get audited, and you're going to pay back the millions of dollars that you stole from Americans. That simply, I just don't think that's true that anybody stole millions of dollars, because again, they were paying for fuel. That's $60,000 a pop. They went all the way across country, for Christ's sake. So Brian Von D has been trying to ride on my coattails for the last 3 or 4 years, ever since I got into it. No matter what I've done, as soon as I was planning something, he was planning something. And he's always trying to weasel in and get his name out there. I don't know what it is with that guy, if he needs some popularity, if his mom and dad or mommy didn't give him enough hugs when he was a baby or what. But again, I don't want nothing to do with anything anymore because of people like Brian Von D. He's not a good person. And I know a lot about him. I did a little research after all this went down, and he's not a good person. So this is straight from the horse's mouth. I do not know the truth. As far as what the financing was, all the money that they said they had, the 1.9 million or whatever. I don't even know how much money they had. I don't know how it was spent, where it was spent. I wasn't in charge of that. My name wasn't associated with that, and I don't know. So for me to sit here and say that there was any kind of fraudulent activity or any kind of anything it would be wrong of me, because I don't have the facts. I don't know. At this point, it's hearsay, it's rumor, and I'm not comfortable throwing out accusations like that when I don't have the facts. And neither does Brian Henson. From the very beginning, they have accused the People's Convoy of doing stuff that wasn't on the up and up. And they may have. I don't know. I don't have those facts. I can only tell you what Jeremy Johnson does and what I have done. And again, I never wanted to be a part of any of the money, and I'm glad I never did, because now you look at but I have to do this video in order to defend myself and my reputation, because people like Brian Henson get out there and throw accusations around. And unfortunately, in today's world, social media, everybody, they share that out all over, and then people that don't know who I am or never met me, they just take Brian Von D's word for it that, oh, yep, that Jeremy Johnson was stealing money. Nope, never had anything to do with the money. Never. And as a matter of fact, I didn't have a lot to do with the whole process after a certain period of time. And I don't remember exactly what the date was when I dropped out, but I still supported them publicly. And yeah, I don't know what to tell people. If there was wrongdoing, I hope that they correct it. I hope there wasn't. That's not good. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Because I don't have the facts. So that's it. Honestly, I'm not here to joke around, because it's serious matter. I'm having major accusations thrown at me. They're accusing me of a felony here. You understand that, right? I mean, it's very obvious that if an investigation is done, which I'm sure there will be, because they're going to audit that account, and they're going to demand every single receipt for that. Obviously, I will be exonerated because my name's not involved if there is any wrongdoing, but I don't know if there is. So all I know is I was not involved with the financing aspect of it. So that is that. I just wanted to get down here and do a short little video explaining that. And if you see a video by Brian Von D, you take half of what he says with a grain of salt, and the other half is more than likely a lie or some kind of farce. Um, I think part of it is he made a video at the beginning before all this took off that went viral, and he always has to say, he brings that up all the time. I made a viral video. I made a viral video. I made a viral video. Okay, so you made a video, but what did you do? In the beginning, I was on the phone with him and Tony, and he went MIA for 3 days, gone. And I said to him, dude, if you want to be the leader, then be the leader. Step up and be the leader. You can't let people sit here and hang for 3 days and not say a word. That's not what a leader does. A leader leads. And he didn't like that. And I don't care if he didn't like that. Then I find out that he was trying to set up a GoFundMe account, which I told him from the very beginning. I don't want no part of it. And so he was trying to set up a GoFundMe with an accountant firm. Turns out that his girlfriend works for that accountant firm. How convenient. Accusing me of wrongdoing from the very beginning, that you're just in it for the money. I wasn't the one that was ever trying to set up a GoFundMe. He was. And it's been like that from the very beginning. And I thought we'd come to an agreement that just keep my name out of his mouth, and he just can't do it. So Thursday night on my radio show, I am going to release audio. It's a very long audio recording of him and me and Tony having a conversation that he is very well aware that he is being recorded, because I told him he was. And he said, okay, good, you're being recorded too. I will release that audio on Thursday on my radio show, unless he comes out with a public apology and clears my name out of his mouth again and tells people that he misspoke, and because he knows I wasn't involved in any of the finances or the planning. He's pissed off because I added Brian and Mike on in the beginning, and then they kind of took off with it. And that's how things work. I'm not hurt about it. I'm not upset about it. It doesn't matter to me. All that mattered to me was that they actually got something done, and they actually went and did something. They organized it, and they had a big crowd go across the country that was fantastic. So I still support how they did it and what they did to get it done. And I will not sit here and throw accusations around like these other children do. It's immature, and it's all about them just wanting to get the highlight, the limelight. Let's put it that way. So that's it. There's your honesty. And Brian Von D, I warned you to keep my name out of your mouth. Now on Thursday, I will air that audio recording I have of us. Unless, of course, you make a public apology and you clear my name out of your mouth and tell everybody that you know that it wasn't me that had anything to do with any kind of financing or planning. I'm tired of the accusations, and honestly, I'm tired of your bullshit. Have a good day.